Hey everyone, Butlee here. I'm with Patch. How you doing, Patch?
You ask me this every time,
I know.
and
Is
I
it ever
always
going
say
to
something.
change?
Oh, is this our intro?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. Great. I've had my morning coffee and now I feel great.
Are you gonna teach me how to catch a Pokemon?
Yes, that is my
Oh.
intro. I'm sure I've said this joke so many times on stream, it's so bad. So, I don't know if you just noticed, we transformed
You're a
into
rune
a
fencer.
rune fencer.
I take it you're fishing for magic?
At this point, I had a bit of a look, because I did those little episodes with our 3 profiles, and I had a bit of a look at sort of what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, what sort of cross control I had, and yeah, I decided also we'd picked up Falcourt, so did we need 3 knights running around? Because you can't not take yourself, so
Yeah.
if Falcourt's like a guest, and you've got me and then Voltaire, and I was like, well, so I thought...
Can you change yourself to a fairy? That's what I want to know.
No, because you only change yourself humans, you can't change your, like...
You have to be born that way?
Yeah. Wow, the tone.
You walked right into that joke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was set up, slam.
It could be offensive to a certain group of people, so...
They know I'm kidding.
You're the kidder. Much kid.
Anyway.
So what we were doing in the story... we met Falcourt, and he helped us rescue his buddies. Well, we helped him rescue his buddies. And Bayan, our guest over there, the blue mage, he said, they've still got Sistina, who was someone we actually met and rescued once before. So this is our second rescue attempt. So we are the rescuers, apparently. This is what we do now that we're outlaws.
Now that you're outlaws, you're doing more good than you did when you were in the law.
Right. Now we're not following people blindly, we've actually started rescuing people. We're like superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fidgeting with the team. I know that this is going to be one... It's generally if you're going to a fortress and you're going there, you have to like fight your way up. So I know that archers are going to have limited use, and that's again why the second rune fencer is really handy. Is it good
But
at...
we're taking RSL because it's RSL.
Yeah, she'll probably stay in the party a lot. Do you remember what we did last time? Where we fought?
We killed her husband.
Right. And remember how she was pregnant? And now she's come to fight us anyway. Bring me their scalps.
They've got a Dread Knight, or Terror Knight, or whatever it is.
Yep.
I think Dread Knight is better than Terror Knight.
Yeah. I think this isn't, this obviously isn't the first Tactics Ogre game, and I think this specific game is actually based on one on a different platform. The one we're looking at is the PSP version, and I have feelings things like that. Like those, there was Divine Knights, I think they were, the guys we met in Lancelot's party. I think they might have they used to be called like Holy Knights, and now they're Divine Knights, because they're trying to, you know, they're trying to make it sort of not specifically religious. Holy sort of usually means like Christian. Well, maybe not. That's probably not fair. But that, you know, divine is
very
more
religious,
mythical
yeah.
and less religious. You know what I mean? So
Religical? That's using that word from now on. That's an awesome word.
religical. Anyway, point being, they changed some of the classes and things like that. Just
At least
in
this
name.
time your NPCs haven't run ahead like idiots.
Well, the fortunate thing is that one's a cleric and one's a mage. So actually,
Yeah.
but to be honest, Bayan is kind of. I sort of went with. I think I only went with the one mage. Did I? I can't remember now. Did I leave Friedzwide at home? Not Friedzwide. Anna. No, Anna's there. I didn't put my little thing up in the corner. How bad is that?
Oh no, I went for who's who.
I can't handle it. I said I just did all this research and made a plan, and then I forgot that.
Mm.
After those damn crikey, the bio videos where I did all the little templates and stuff, thought I was all over this. They still look like garbage, but at least they existed. So you can see I've got ninjutsu here, and I'm pining for a way to use it. And what I'm trying to show is that I have these items that I can use, and they're not actually in that list. And
Well
they're
done.
not in that list either. I'll show them in the shop, I think. Point is, you need like a kunai, I think it is, to use this. And I wanted to show what that is so that when we see it in the shop, you can see. And I'm like, okay, I can get that guy. Because he's a Terra Knight, I thought I might lock him down. Because that way they won't advance their front line as much. And it's like 9%. Oh my god. So, whatever, right? Gotta start somewhere. Totally missed. You'll find that now that our level 6 ninja ran out to engage the level 10 enemies head on, she doesn't last very long.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I don't know what you were thinking.
I just had like tunnel vision on I want to use Shadowbind, and that was it. I also shouldn't have used RSL here. I don't know if I was looking for dialogue like choices from her or what, but our long range archer would have been so much better.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Best laid plans and all that.
I learned my lesson poorly. Anyway, so this battle it takes a little while. The Griffins are hard. They're going to ravage our backline. We take a lot of people knocked down in this, and we end up having to sort of rush the fight later on to, you know, to end it before everyone like passes out, which is bad. Because you only sort of get 3. All these little hearts they have in the bottom left near their name. Basically, when they get that 3 counter on them and it goes down to 0, they lose a heart. And so, obviously, when they lose all 3 hearts, they get taken out of 3 fights. That's the end of them. So, I always try and not lose any hearts if I can help it, because there will be situations where you just get screwed. So, we've been good so far anyway. I like that. Light magic's starting to deal some real damage now. And cast slow on that guy, which is cool. That helps us a bit. Anyway, so the fight takes a little while. They're all up on the hill with it. They've got like bloody 4 archers and stuff. So we might move on. I think you were gonna talk about something today.
Me?
You were the prepared one.
Okay. What would so Butlee started doing SimCity videos.
Don't blame me.
Thought,
it was totally your fault.
no, it was all your idea. I swear. What we thought might be an interesting topic is talking about simulation games and, you know, their history and what they are and where they stand now. Because back in the day, simulation games were, you know, the most popular thing for video games. Like, I know it's not Mario or, you know, many of them weren't even on console, but they were really popular. Everyone has fond memories of SimCity or Transport Tycoon or, you know, one of those games.
They definitely had a time when they were, like, everyone sort of had a go at them at some point, hey?
Yeah, and every kid played at least one, you know. They might not have realized it at the time, but yeah, they were definitely, everyone played a simulation game. So, we just sort of wanted to go over that, and I guess the first point to get across is what is a simulation game? It's basically any game where you're running some sort of a management, usually with the goal of getting money. You'll run like a park or a city or something to that effect.
Simulation as a, like, just the word itself even, it's basically anything that you're playing that's meant to replicate something in life, whether it be a role or a duty or something.
Yeah, and it's important to mention that it's meant to replicate something more like life. It's meant to be somewhat realistic, because you can have your you know, airplane simulators and things like that, and yeah, they're still very, I don't know.
Yeah, the idea is you play the sim game so that you don't have to, like, because you can't, or you don't have to do it in real life.
Yeah.
It's like everyone, like in my case, I play Football Manager, and that's a simulation because not everyone gets that opportunity, and you know, but it's cool to be able to sort of have your 10 minutes of fame jamming out as a manager of a club that you like.
Whereas something like this, it's a tactical game. It's not like you're not simulating a real battle.
No.
You're fighting. You're, you know, intentionally doing things. I guess that's the other thing is simulation games are a lot of RNG and autonomy. You don't control a lot of them. Like, you put elements into the game, and then the rest of it is about responding to feedback, so to speak. Say, we'll start with, you know, SimCity. You need to have beautification, and you need to have things that appeal to people to have them come to your city. If your city is ugly, if it's full of pollution, you'll find that not many people come, even if you're earning money. So you've got to sort of respond to what the people within the city desire and build around that.
I definitely think that's one of the main points. You basically run the simulation, and it will run independent of you most of the time, and yeah, it's up to you to be a part of the simulation. I think that's a pretty good defining characteristic of a simulation game.
I guess the other thing is we need to sort of split up simulation games and, like, I guess, you sort of aircraft sims, because they are very different. They are a simulation, but they're not, like, we're talking about city builders and things like that.
That's
whereas,
definitely right. There's like subgenres within what you would call a simulation. Definitely, like difference between something like farming simulator, which is basically you being a farmer or trying to improve your farm or the way your farm runs or whatever like that, is totally different to being like a transport tycoon business owner Mongol, where you're not actually physically doing the task, you're just managing the task.
Well, that's another thing, another point that we can sort of get on top of. But first, I think we should, I don't know, do you want to, because it's funny, because what the angle I'm coming from is simulation games these days tend to be a lot different to what they used to be. If you know what I mean.
Right, if you're saying that a game is the same genre as one of its predecessors, it's different now?
Well, I mean, the simulation games back then, they were largely management games, right? You managed things. Whereas simulation games these days tend to be a lot more proactive. You're doing a lot more of the tasks yourself, rather than, setting it up and it runs on its own. The big difference, I'd say, is something like Lemonade Stand Tycoon. Have you ever played that?
No, I haven't played barely anything these days like that.
So, it's an old game, very simple. It was so simple it was in a web browser in the, early 2000s. And the basic crux was you have a lemonade stand. Buy lemons, buy sugar, buy water, can't remember something else. And cups, and you put them all together. You choose how much sugar, how much liquid, how much lemonade, whatever goes into a cup, and then you press go, and then the day runs. And maybe you sell a bunch, maybe you don't, and that was entirely independent from you. So the game sort of ends, so to speak. Like, your control as a player ends the moment you hit go. The day will just run on its own, and you'll come back with money. And it's, fun to watch, and you can speed through it or whatever. And people give you feedback during the day as well. But something I feel like a more modern game would do, like a more modern take on that, I feel would take that concept, and then they'd go, you have to, a person comes up and orders a lemonade. Okay, I've got to go get the lemonade and make the cup. Like, I feel that's what a more modern approach would do, is make you actually serve the lemonade. And it would be about serving lemonade to customers in a timely manner. Because that's what simulation games seem like more these days.
I don't know, I think there's not as many. Like, it's hard, because things like, as we mentioned, say, I don't know, farming simulator, or there's like a train driving simulator, I'm not sure what that's called. But those sort of things, I think they're basically the same over time. But things like a Transport Tycoon Deluxe sort of thing, I don't know if that has really changed. I guess SimCity is the best one to get back to, because there's been most of the modern stuff that I've seen has been SimCity still here. I guess I try for something a bit different on the thing here. What happened is I had 3 guys go down, and I was like, maybe I can charm someone for a couple of turns to help us fight. Take some blows. So SimCity, I think because they're still making it, that's a thing. And they're also, what am I going to say? I'm thinking that they also, I guess other games have spawned off it. Is it Cities XL or something like that? Is a thing?
Yeah, there's one like that.
Did Paradox
there's
make
also
one?
Yeah, Cities Skyline.
Is that it? So point being that there's games that are spawning, and they're based on SimCity kind of concepts.
Well, yeah, the same sort of concept. But one of the things that's happened over time is I think SimCity has actually gotten simpler, which is a lot of EA's design philosophy rather than, the game genre. EA likes simpler games that lots of people can play, whereas City Skylines, it received a lot of, I don't know, appreciation because it was more complex. It had more complex highways and roads and things like that, which are important to the infrastructure of your city.
I know that SimCity runs this
I saw
fine
SimCity
line.
5.
I know this is SimCity runs this fine line between sort of wanting to add more to do, but then simplifying everything, if you know what I mean. So they kind of add more, but then take some of the stuff away that people like in the same vein, because they're trying to, I don't know, just to say simplify is probably not giving it the right justice, but I don't know. I guess I haven't played enough of them. I know that SimCity tried to small scale it, and that definitely got everyone hated the most recent one because of that decision. They were trying to I get what they were going for, but that's not what people wanted from that type of game. Like if they'd released a new game with a different title, people probably would have been more accepting to what they were trying to spit out. Not
only that, but always online.
But that's what I mean. If they'd released a game and they're like, the idea is not to be a city, it's to be more like an estate, and you're part of a team, so you have to be online and join with other teams, and you have to sort of, I don't know, did you specialize in that? And that would have made, people would have received it fine. Might not have been popular, but they tried to sell it under the SimCity brand, and that's what everyone hated.
It's like the difference between Civs and Civs Revolution. In the main series of Civs, you expect a certain amount of complexity, but in Civs Revolution, you could accept that it wasn't as complex because they were going for a different thing, and they didn't try and sell it as a main Civs game.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I only played Civs Rev on consoles, so I definitely didn't expect much.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess the other trend today that there's a lot of is a lot of simulator games come out with physics engines, which is something that, other than flying simulators, I honestly don't think you'd have physics engines back in the day. No. Largely because of complexity, but...
Well, I think they always existed, but it was just a thing now physics engines almost become like a media buzzword of a thing. They always existed. Well, physics was always a thing, but no one ever really put their hand up and said, yeah, I've crafted this amazing physics engine. They were just like, yeah, we have physics in this game. They always existed.
I mean, things like Half-Life were considered revolutionary for their physics, but we're getting off point.
Yeah, I'm not saying they couldn't be revolutionary. I don't think anyone made a big deal out of it till a certain point. It was just every game had physics. It just wasn't harped upon that much.
The point I'm trying to make is when you think of a simulation game, you do not think of physics. You do not think of physics being an important part of it. You don't think managing your physics as being a part of your simulation game. But a lot of these simulation games now basically sell them off the fact that they have really dodgy physics. Have you seen all the truck simulators?
No, I haven't really got into it much.
How about Goat Simulator?
Yeah, but that's supposed to be a parody on the whole thing. That's a really bad thing to bring up. Because
I know, but
I get the joke they were trying to make, but I don't even think they got the joke part of it right. I know that people played it, but... But
here's the problem, right? Is you have to acknowledge that these things exist and have been labeled simulators. Because, that goes in with the pool of every other simulation game, even if it's not quite true and the same of what is the spirit of the genre, I guess, I'm trying to say.
I still think it's a simulation game, but
what's it simulating?
Well,
and
yeah.
The truck games, they're all about, transporting goods and moving about and things, except a lot of them are just based off the back of having really bad physics and being really goofy to play. A lot of them are, your truck, you try and go up a ramp and you do crazy flips and stuff, and the game encourages you to do it, and it sort of gets a pass because it's a simulation game, I guess.
Intentional
I know, it's just
design of your simulation. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it
I have
seems like an
I have
odd
trouble
thing.
with that. Like, I, I just, I don't know. I get that people like goof around on games, and it's definitely fun. But yeah, to buy a whole game like that when your main intent is to goof around, I don't know. But then again, I'm the type of guy who played more Age of Empires without the cheats than with, so
Yeah,
that's the type of
It's just-
person I am. So
it just definitely feels odd to me personally, that so many of these games exist, and a lot of them do exist. And the other thing is, a lot of these games, I think, I don't want to say they like have addictive elements to them, but a lot of them have so much DLC, and you don't think they'd have that much DLC unless it's selling. So that raises the question: who is buying the DLC? Because your average person isn't going to buy, $120 of DLC from Train Simulator. That's
yeah, there must be a
Just not a
really
thing.
thick market of enthusiastic people who like that game. There must be
Yeah.
some sort of click in there. I mean, I get
Well,
it.
that's what I
Maybe
mean.
designing
Gotta
each
be-
train isn't that hard. It's just a similar model with different paint and a few different small changes. Once you've got one, maybe it's only a few hours work to sort of change. I don't know, but
Well, I mean, there's also the zombie DLC for Train Simulator.
oh god, I didn't even.
Yeah.
Whoa.
See, that's what I mean. It's sort of, it's an anomaly.
I don't know. I think it's like all gaming. There's markets for all kinds of things. We're still sort of exploring what is good and what isn't good.
I think it'll always be this way. I think there'll always be, because it's like, even in film, there's still cheap bootleg knockoffs, like of Disney films. You'll always see them. They're getting notorious for their existence. That where a Disney movie comes out, like Kung Fu Panda, and then this other company releases this cheap knockoff called like the Little Panda Warrior. And, and have you seen when Transformers came out? Then there was Transmorphers and things like that. Like, I think there will always be this sort of like fringe market of appeal, where, not to say you're tricking people into it like those movies, but where you're sort of appealing to a very small group who are interested in this sort of thing for being goofy.
Sorry, I'm
But,
just admiring this dark weight on top of Veldry.
Leadened.
I was getting a bit worried because they were still dealing a lot of damage, and we were getting wrecked. And I had guys, and I didn't want to spend all my money on blessing stones. And blessing stones cost 2,000 coin. That's a lot.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to bring up was a lot of older games now are receiving like new open source remakes. They're not exactly the same, but there's a game on Steam called Simutrains. It's quite a lot, like, it's meant to be like Transport Tycoon.
Right.
There's new Roller Coaster Tycoon like games coming out because they want to appeal to that audience. They want to, go, look, you had so much fun playing these games
Yeah.
back then, you can still play them and they could be as good as new,
This is the age-old problem of nostalgia. It's like, let's remake this game that everyone used to love, and it's like, yeah, but did they stop playing it because that game got old, or did they stop playing it because they don't want to play that type of game in the new world, like the modern?
Yeah, that's a
Really
good point.
hard. It's like when they remade Baldur's Gate. That game was probably a big enough deal to warrant a remake and to have a fan base who would play it, but some games you just think that game didn't die because it was like fondly remembered and everyone still wanted to play it, and it just sucked because the UI sucked. That game died because people just outgrew it over time. Games got better. Like, like,
Yeah, it's like to name a popular game, or not a popular game, but to name a game we like. No one's calling out for a Battle Realms remake,
yeah.
even though it was a great game and a remake could do wonderful things for it. No one's crying out for it because it wasn't popular enough.
I'm sort of on the stream here. I'm just sort of, I know I've got people everywhere, and I'm trying to weigh up sort of how many more hits I can get in, because like I said, I think the number of items you get is related to how many people you take down, and I'm trying to weigh up how many more hits I can get in before having to spend all that extra money on blessing stones to heal people. That's why I faffed around for the last 2 or 3 turns. And this
Wow.
moment, yeah, it's so sad. She's obviously bearing child, and we killed her husband and killed her. Like, yeah, he's a pirate,
See-
so they probably had it coming, but wow.
Here was me thinking that maybe she didn't actually, like, she'd already brought the child to term, at least. And maybe the child was, because that was a diary you found, and I had kind of assumed that he had married her, at least a little while ago.
Nope.
But no, apparently it was very recent they got married.
That's
So
why
that's-
she wasn't with him. The story in the backstories, maybe it'll explain it in her backstory when I have a look in the codex.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story is they were doing it together, and she had to stop because she was pregnant. That's the only reason she wasn't
Yeah.
with him. That's why she's like extra annoyed that we killed him, because she was like, I'm usually with him.
Yeah.
Took him from me. It's really sad.
Yeah. Should
Like-
try to recruit her. It was Donatello.
Like, there's real layers in all the characters in this. I think I mentioned it. It's good how the world goes on and you're just a part of it.
Yeah.
And these are just one part of the world that was happening and we kind of got in the way. Bean. So there's a bit of a cutscene to finish this off, and then we'll probably wrap. I'm gonna have to lay the simulation debate to rest, but maybe we'll find
Yeah.
something in the near future. Like, there's heaps of sim games coming out. Maybe what we can do is pick one of them and talk about it as a representative of the discussion we had today.
Well, if we've got time, did you want to name some simulation games that you've played and have fond memories of?
Okay, done. I mean,
Wow, that was quick.
Transport Tycoon. No, I don't know. I think it's too hard, because a lot of, like, you'd have to, like, give a caveat as to why you like them and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
It's like, I like Transport Tycoon, but,
I mostly just wanted to use it as an excuse to mention that I had and owned for a long time Skate Park Tycoon, and that game sounds very strange because you're running a skate park, but it was actually a lot of fun, and it even had like a little bit of, you could take over one of the skaters and skate around as well for extra money.
That's cool.
So
Yeah, there's been some good ones. I know that, like, the Theme Park Tycoon or Roller Coaster Tycoon, is it? Whatever it is, that's popular.
yeah,
Because they have, like,
Roller Coaster
scenario
Tycoon.
missions and stuff to play through, and not just open worldage.
I've played a bit of Zoo Tycoon too. That it's not like the most fun game ever, but it's certainly pretty novel. And if you like animals,
Yeah,
You
if
can get a
like
kick out of
animals,
it.
It'd be good. In story mode, what are we doing? I'm just explaining where we went and where we have to go. Do you remember goal yet?
yes,
So-
that was like the start, wasn't it?
Right. And so we were going to go to Rhyme. That was our plan all along, but we got ambushed at Timoth Hill. So now they're saying they can sail us around, but their fortress is Boad Fortress, so we can sort of stop there on the way, and it's not out of our way.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
it kind of
They're
probably
not going
is.
to betray
but
us, are they?
They just, well, we don't know that yet. They are an army. We did kind of free a few of their members, though.
Yeah, but I've learned to distrust people in this game.
After Vice, especially. Leonard, he was so noble, and then he did such a thing.
Yeah, I was actually going to say it's more Leonard than Vice. Vice, I think anyone could have seen that on mine, that Vice was going to be a bad guy.
Yeah, you could kind of tell he was too third wheelie to be good the whole time.
Yeah, he was an idiot.
Sort of going through. So, Cicina mentioned her sister, Syria. She's the leader
Yeah.
of the Liberation Front, which is that's who Falcourt and Bayan and all that work for. It's just another party that basically says we want the world to work this way. We're going to rebel until that happens, which is pretty much what the Wallister did, which is pretty much what the Backroom did before this. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
you can talk about how noble everyone's goal is, but everyone's basically saying the same thing. We want to rule, but we want to rule only our way. Everyone else is wrong.
and that's what makes a good political drama story.
Right, there's more to it than I'm saying. But yeah. This is the story we talked about already. She kind of got Stockholm Syndrome, I think, but it doesn't really explicitly say it. He kidnapped her.
She was unfazed by this.
But she was like unfazed by his threat. And he was like, wow, I like a bit of sport in my woman.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, it says she eventually came to have feelings for him. And it doesn't actually, like, elaborate on that, but I feel like it was like a Stockholm Syndrome kind of way. See, look, then she
Oh, don't
stayed...
say that. That makes it less romantic. Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Obviously I have no romantic bones in my body.
I think they loved each other.
Well, she broke into tears upon hearing of his death.
Oh, wow, you're a shit, Dan.
I know.
You're no longer the hero of this
Shouldn't have
story.
even
They
done
were the
this
heroes.
side quest, right? Should have just let Sistina go.
You killed an unborn child.
She's not even
You're
grateful.
a bad guy now. Oh god. Can we
This is supposed to be
list
like
the atrocities the hero has done now?
this is supposed to be the good run. This isn't even the evil run. Oh dear, what would happen on the evil run? Oh,
You'd
man.
recruit her.
Recruit Vice and Leonard and go on a war march, massacring people.
No, you'd recruit the pirates to overthrow Vice and Leonard.
I like looking at the map. It gives us a good indication of where we've been. I should take one and sketch all over it to describe this journey so far. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. That was, what, episode 21. Wowza. Yeah, it's been
Wow.
good fun. I'm cruising along. We are not even halfway through yet.
Yay.
But that's alright. We usually use this as a bit of just a soundboard to get things off our chests. So thanks again for your time, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.